looks like Netflix dropped a new trailer today. Well, technically, as of the filming of this, it would be yesterday. I think it's for a series called Warrior Nun. No clue what it's about, but just the title is making me interested. So I'm going to check it out right now.
My whole life, I've dreamt about being dead.
Okay.
I leave my body, and I see myself from above. A normal girl. Until I wake up and realize that I'm still the freak I've been my whole life. One thing I've learned since then, life has a really fucked up way of making your dreams come true. Okay, this isn't a dream. This is hardcore, real life. No. With superpowers?
You belong to the Order of the Cruciform Sword, devout women who have dedicated their lives to fighting an ancient evil. Whoever bears a halo is a new champion, a warrior or not.
I'm sorry, can we maybe jump to the part where any of this has anything to do with me?
Hell will rise up, heaven will fall. How did our greatest weapon against evil end up in an unbeliever?
The halo is a gift. You're God's champion. It will enhance whatever natural abilities you already possess.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering a new era of enlightenment. Heaven does exist, because I discovered a gateway to it.
Series, okay.
People have tried to make me into something I'm not. Pain is what made me a sister warrior.
Shotgun Mary.
Okay.
Cool name. Why do they call you that? I drink a lot.
Sometimes life just changes right up from under you,
Yeah, there's something special about her. She's great. Really stable.
Find that girl. I train harder than anyone else.
I've never seen that girl before.
I really hope I got God's message right.
No, okay. All right, that was funny.
Do your best, Twyla Kanan.
Bless your Bridget. Too far.
Okay, so coming soon. Netflix is just rolling out these things, you guys, like movie series up the wazoo. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's just like, dang, you guys. I swear, they're really going at it, which is fine. You know, I mean, gives us a lot of interesting material to choose from. Something for everybody, pretty much. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat, well, not right off the bat, it took a little bit. I noticed going into it that the trailer was going to be on the longish side. And since I went straight to Netflix, I figured it was going to take up most of the video length. And it did. To get to this blank screen right here, it's 2 minutes 25. And sometimes there are trailers that while they're 2+ minutes, they don't really feel like it, or they keep me engaged. But in all honesty, this particular one felt a little long. They started to, I think the point that started to happen was when they veered off and started showing all the other characters, like all the other major characters that were going to be in there and sort of highlighting them. I think if they just kind of wrapped it up right after they showed the main girl, because she's the focus, that probably would have made the trailer feel much more effective or just efficient with the time. But yeah, I started to notice and I started to feel, okay, this is stuff they don't really need to show us. Like maybe if they'd done another trailer where they just sort of showed the main girl first just a little and then did all this other stuff where they focused on this girl. I mean, all the, you know, the other characters in the series, that would have felt, I just feel like it would have been a little better. And actually, you know what? I remember the exact moment when I felt like they were going a little too long, and I couldn't tell you what the timestamp was, but it was a part where it showed the girl, and she was, she said something about how she discovered heaven, and she put her hand through that thing, and I felt like, okay, we're getting into a whole other narrative now. And that, of course, is that's probably the main thrust of the show, but it just kind of felt like they set this character up. They showed this stuff she was doing, and then they're like, okay, well, let's tell you a whole lot more about this series. And I just felt like it was a little bit more than they needed to show. So that's my only gripe with the trailer. It certainly had, I mean, that hasn't, or that doesn't diminish my interest in the series. This looks pretty fun. Looks like it's going to be, you know, quirky and humorous, but it's also going to have some action and some supernatural stuff. So a lot of these different things are right up my alley. Obviously, I won't know until I start watching it whether it's something that I actually like, but it is something that I would, when it comes out, I would click on, you know, add to list, which I've got so many things on my list, but this is another one that I would add to it. So anyway, I only recognized one character in there, and that was the male, the priest guy. I recognized him. He's the only one. The main character, she reminds me of, what's that girl's name? I know it's not her, but she reminds me of the girl who played in Inception, and she plays in The Umbrella Academy. I cannot remember her name. She's got like this very simple type basic name that's, you know, like, but I can't remember it. Whatever. I think you guys know who I'm talking about, but she reminds me of her. I almost wonder if they're related, but maybe not. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think I've ever seen her before, and if I have, she wasn't anyone that kind of stuck in. Oh, one of the girls that it showed there, I sort of recognized her, but I couldn't tell you from where. She just has a familiar looking face. But, oh well, that does not matter. So, okay, that one was fun. I'm going to move on to another trailer. I think a horror one this time. Okay, you guys, adios.